Hi, everyone. My name is Dariana Mullen, but we know, you know, who I am. I'm the president of the game. I won that title. I earned it. I earned it through fights, and I earned it through kisses. And I'm not ashamed of that. Today we're going to be doing a discussion. A debate, some might say. We have two wonderful countries. We have France, hosted by Nicole, and Germany, hosted by Gideon. Thank you both so much for being here. You are both so appreciated. Let me go over the format for you a little bit. We started with side one, side two, rebuttal one, rebuttal two, and then a conclusion. Yeah? Let's just get one thing clear. I didn't become president of the game by making friends. I didn't become by having long, convoluted arguments. If you're going too far, your arguments are too long, I will cut you off with a swift leg to the nose. But besides that, I just want to say thank you both so much. The argument once again is a spork a valid tool, right? I'm going to go to both of you. You're going to give a quick introduction about yourself, the country representing, and your side of the argument. We're going to start with France. Take it away, Nicole.
Bonjour, je m'appelle François. I am from France. If you could not tell from my fantastic accent, and I am here today to explain why forks are a valid utensil. Now, I'm assuming you've all seen a seminal film entitled Ratatouille. As a chef myself, I find it very inspiring. My friend Chef Gusteau wrote a little book called Anyone Can Cook. Now, what I love about this book is that it is, how you say, accessible. It is accessible to anyone. It is the it. This book is not classes. You don't need to have fancy cutlery. Anyone can cook with a spork. And might I add, the spork is valid. It may not be the most successful or the most impressive of all utensils, but it exists, and thus it is valid.
Thank you so much. Can I just say, if I had to pick a rodent, I would pick rats. I love the way they look. Let's head over to Gideon. Gideon representing Germany. You're going to give a little introduction, talk about your side of the argument. Take it away, my friend.
Thank you. My name is Dr. Professor Gideon. I am an anthropology teacher at the German University of Germany. I study archaeology with a specific focus on the tools and artifacts that we as human beings today use. And unfortunately, the spork is not one of them. As you can see, the clear delineation between spoon and fork is something that we as a society should be, accepting. And that it is something that we need to recognize due to the fact that the spork is just the bastard child of the spoon and the fork. She does not offer the full range of the fork. She does not offer the full range of the spoon. She just sits in the middle, a little milky toast, and she does not do what we need her to do. So I suppose you could use her in these aspects, but not very correctly, not in the way that you need a utensil to do what a utensil does. And what does a utensil do? Well, what it's made to do. The spork is not made to do one thing. So how can she be a true utensil?
Thank you so much, Doctor. We're going to hop right into the arguments. I am going to throw it back over to France. France, let's keep it concise. Put your points out there. Let me hear what you got. Bring the fire, as some might say. Take it away.
Well, I would think that my opponent, as someone who studies the history of utensils and thus finds experiences very important to the development. I agree that this shared experience in which we all take part of using the spork in the middle school cafeteria for our middle school lunches, that shared experience is the great uniter amongst us all. Where would we be without that nostalgia? Where would we be without our experience of using a spork, all of us together, all of us from our different groups, all of us come together and we use that one utensil because it's all that we have. And how can you say that it isn't valid when it's the only ones that we use at that stage of our lives?
Great. What an argument. I'm sweating. Let's throw it over to Germany. Take it away with your argument.
I too think that one with such an invested relationship with the foods and the cooking and such would understand the integrity of what a utensil is. Yes, we have shared experiences around the plastic sporks of the middle schools and the napkins and the little plastic coverings. But we have shared experiences playing in the dirt. We have shared experiences coming out of the womb. Does that make the hormonal stages of your life as you go through very valid? So you know that the things that you are doing and experiencing are transient, such as the nature of this spork. She's transient, she's plastic, she snaps, she's not accessible, really. She's scarce. Where do you go when you go to IKEA? You go to the grocery and you see the spoons and you see the knives and you see the forks and you see the ladles, but you do not see the spork. Where is she? She is not there because she is not valid. She is not representative of who we are. She is not on the side of providing. You eat soup with her. She falls out of her little prongs. You try to pick things up, but she's not as strong as the fork, not as voracious. She is not high society. She does not reflect on us, on our growth, as we out-evolve the Homo erectus, the Homo habilis, the Australopithecus. We have been moving forward and we have relied on our wit and our communication and our tools. And the spork, she is not the tool that we rely on. We rely on the fork, we rely on the knife, we rely on the Schraubendreher, the drive screwer. And these are the things that make us who we are, not this fork, not her.
So appreciated. Let's hop over to the rebuttals. I'm going to throw it back over to France. Keep it concise, respond to your opponent's argument, and put one together that propels your own forward. Take it away.
Now, with all due respect to my opponent, I think that they sound a little bit like how you say, bitch, because you are very snobby. Now, I try as a French chef to break the mold, to break the stereotype of being snobby and prestigious and high society and putting myself on a pedestal. And you use the term high society. You said the spork is not high society. And it isn't, but I don't think that it has to be. I don't think that something has to be on a whole nother level to exist and be valid. Like I said, I think the spork is maybe one of the most accessible utensils that exist because it is 2-in-1. It is saving the environment, less plastic. It is allowing children to have just one utensil instead of using 2. Anyone can cook and anyone can use a spork for 2 different things. And I think that's beautiful. I think that is so special. I don't think we have to be snobby or high society to recognize something as that. And to that point, how do you define validity? Because just because something is rare, or just because something is not to your liking or to your standard, that does not mean it is not valid. I think that this spork has a long way to go in terms of becoming mainstream. I think that is no fault of anyone except our society as a whole, because we collectively decided we prefer the fork and the spoon as you. But that does not mean that the spork is not valid, because it is, because we use it and it exists. If it didn't exist, then it wouldn't be valid. And if it didn't exist and it wasn't used by children, by many people, by myself, my mom is my mom is obsessed with this spork, and she has instilled a love of bringing portable sporks with me everywhere I go. So I just think that you're getting yourself into, I don't know, I think you're putting yourself above so many people by claiming that this book doesn't have a place. Who says?
Fantastic. Thank you so much for that rebuttal. Let's keep it civil, friends. Throwing it over to Gideon. Go right ahead.
When I say high society, excuse me, this is not my native tongue, so the English gets me a little jumbled. I say it in a manner that reflects the human condition, the desire for all of us to keep moving forward and moving higher into a higher consciousness, into recognizing what makes society a better place, what uplifts us and moves the evolution forwards. So it is, how they say in Deutschland, die Schlampe ist verrückt, which means something a little like you become a better you every day when you ask for a better you, when you look at a better you. You must actualize these things. And in line with the actualization comes the implementation and the application. And so when you look at the arrowheads, the stone tools of olden times that we find in these digs of old societies that have collapsed and that have died and species that have died out, it's because they died with these species. These things are left behind, shuttered in the past. And we need to leave the spork there as well so that we can let go of that baggage and move forward. Not to be better than the current humans, but to be better than the past humans, better than what we were before, and uplift ourselves to a higher plane of existence. So that's really what I meant. I apologize, France, if it came off beachy.
Thank you both so much for your rebuttals. It's very much appreciated, to the point, strict. I love it. I'm thrilled. I'm screaming on the inside. Let's head over to our conclusions. Take it away, France.
Well, I think I've made it clear that I think this book has a lot of potential. Now, my opponent talks about leaving this book in the past, but I say, why can't we bring this book into the future? Because I don't know if this book has even reached its full potential. There's so much to be done. There's so much innovation that we are only on the brink of as technology continues to improve, as we as humans continue to improve the ways that we use items and improve technology. I think there's so much potential for this book to become the next best thing. And I think we also must acknowledge that this book can be used in other ways outside its kitchen. Because the argument is not only is this book a valid kitchen utensil, is this book a valuable utensil? And there are so many uses of this book that we never even touched upon. We can use it as a cigarette holder, or a place to store our paints when we paint, or as a comb for our hair. This book has unlimited potential, and I think it is so valid, and there's so much to be tapped into. And I just do not have the heart to claim or to ever believe that this book is not valid. Merci.
Thank you so much, Germany.
I very much appreciate the love of the antiquity and the burgeoning hope for this book from you, France, as that it's quite beautiful. As an archaeologist, I too am in love with the past. I would love to hold on to it. I would love to keep her. I would love to study her. I wish all of her were here. I wish we had more indication of the cultures that we have outgrown. But the nature of the question, if a spork is a valid utensil, would be answered if it weren't a question at all. correct? See, if it were a valid utensil, you would not have to ask. It would be without saying. We would not have to debate this. We would not have to argue this. And it is something that you must look inside yourself and you must ask, where are these sporks? Who uses these sporks? What do these sporks do? How do they bring us forward? I, personally, have not seen these sporks since the middle school cafeteria. I personally do not believe this spork has the dynamic ability that a single spoon or a single fork has. That is the doggy man. He agrees with me. And it is essential to know that the spork is not valid, not because you cannot use it, but because its place as a utensil sits in a nebulous, unsure space, and it is not something that we need in order to bring us forward and to use it to the potential that it does not seem to be living up to. Thank you.
Thank you so much, both of you, for your wonderful arguments. We'll throw it over to Game Daddy for him to dismiss you. Once again, we appreciate you so much.